Alright guys, so I've got the iPhone 15. As you guys know, I've had this for a few days now and I've been using it just to prepare for this video, which is the iPhone 15 Pro Max review. We're going to be talking about things that I like, things that I don't like, what issues that I've been having, and what issues that I have not been having so far. So let's get right into the iPhone 15 Pro Max review. So first things first, we're going to be talking about the design of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. At first glance, it does look a lot like the iPhone 14 Pro Max, iPhone 13 Pro Max, and I will even add in the iPhone 12 Pro Max. But if you really look it deep and you really hold it in hand, there's a lot of differences with the iPhone 15 Pro Max that you won't really notice just by looking at the image of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So I do have a clear case allowing me to see the full design of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. But if we take off the case, first of all, the back glass is matte satin type of feel in the back. You can even hear the texture when you're moving your finger around, but it really looks nice. It does avoid fingerprints on the back. And around the rails, it is titanium, so it is lighter than the Pro Maxes of previous years. So I do like the design, and as you can see, there is curved edges. So when you're holding it, it doesn't dig into your palm and it doesn't hurt. So I had the iPhone 12 Pro Max, and when I would hold my phone, it would hurt a lot at the edges because it would be very pointy. And also when you're holding your pinky at the bottom of the phone, all the weight of that phone is resting on that pinky and really made it hard for my pinky to hold the phone up. But now with titanium and the curved edges, it's gonna make it a lot better. So titanium makes it lighter. But the thing is here, when you're using titanium, it does not eliminate the fingerprints on the side of the phone. So by holding the phone, you will still have fingerprints all around the edges, the same way that the previous phone did with stainless steel. We did notice with our video, the iPhone 15 pickup video, that the natural titanium color does not show fingerprints that much, almost none, but the white still shows a little bit. But the colors that shows the most is the blue and the black, obviously, because you can really see the fingerprints on there. For the design, I really like the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The curved edges is beautiful. The actual titanium feels good in hand, and it feels just so smooth and soft. The weight of it is actually pretty good. It's not too heavy. You actually can enjoy holding the phone without a case. We're going to be talking about the battery life of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Alright, so I'm going to be talking about the battery of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And since I'm coming from the iPhone 12 Pro Max, I'll be comparing the battery life that I've had for both. When I first had my iPhone 12 Pro Max, I was able to actually use the phone from morning all the way to the next day. So the next morning, I was able to have roughly around 17 to 20% in the morning. But with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I don't have the same experience. So with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I can start the day off with 100% like I usually do, but end the day with roughly 20-ish%. During the week, I use my phone roughly 7 to 8 hours for the day, and on the weekend, I use it a lot more. So on the weekend, it could be roughly 11 hours or even 10 hours of screen on time. But during the week is usually between 7 to 8 hours of screen on time. So with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, during the week, I've been ending the day with roughly 25%, 20% around those lines. And I end the day very late at night to around 11:30 to midnight. So I start my day roughly 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and end it at midnight or 11. The fact that I'm still able to keep that 20-ish% at the end of the day is still a lot. I've been coming from an iPhone 12 Pro Max that have 78% battery health left in that battery. So I have to charge my phone halfway through the day, maybe sometime twice a day with the 12 Pro Max. With the iPhone 15 Pro Max, I don't have to charge once during the day. And I'm actually happy with that. I think that most people will be able to use the phone for the whole day, so you won't have to worry about needing a charger when you're going out. Maybe needing a charger if you're planning to stay the night somewhere, but if you're going out for a whole day, you should be good without even bringing a charger. So that comes to the point where you want to charge. So how do you charge the iPhone 15 Pro Max? So Apple did come out with new features to make sure that the battery health is actually stable and can last a little bit longer for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, because there were reports of the iPhone 14 Pro Max having really degraded battery health. So Apple did come up with this feature that allows us to limit the battery charge to 80%. So you can limit your charge to 80% on your phone every day, so you can use at least 80% of your phone, which will give longer life to the battery. This is some things that people already know when it comes to EVs. You want to charge your EV around 80% in order for you to not degrade the battery as fast. The same concept with the phone. So you want to charge to 80% so your battery degradation doesn't come up too fast. But people will complain that you can only use 80% anyways, so what's the point of limiting the charge to 80%? The reason why you would want to limit it to 80% is because when you need the 100%, you can charge to 100%. But when you don't need the 100%, you can use 80% and you'll be good with that as well. So I would still be fine charging my phone to 80% every day. I'll still probably end the day with roughly 5% or 2%, but I'll still be able to go through the day with 80% usage. And on days where I might need a full percentage, then I can set it up to 100% and not have to worry. So far, I set up the battery optimization for this phone just so the phone can learn my charging habits. Once it learns it, I might go back to the 80% so like that I can actually preserve the battery as long as possible. And on days that I need to get that 100%, I can just take off the limit and charge it all the way to 100%. All right, so on to cameras. So since I'm making the iPhone 15 Pro Max review, I'm not using this camera to record the video, but I've been making videos with the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and let me tell you, the video quality is amazing. It's night and day compared to the iPhone 12 Pro Max. If you put both pictures and videos side by side, you'll see that both of these are just not even close. But when I'm taking pictures of the sky, taking pictures of my car, taking pictures of just plants and anything else, you actually see the difference when you put the 12 Pro Max and the 15 Pro Max side to side. So I'm going to be talking about the cameras of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. So the lenses are bigger than they were previously, but there's different features with different lenses. So with the camera now, you can take a regular live photo and you can change it to portrait mode later down the line. And I think this is one of the most underrated camera features that nobody seems to be talking about, because I feel like that's the perfect blend. Because sometimes you just want to take a regular picture and you want to have that portrait picture as well, but you're conflicted because when you want to go to portrait, you have to remember to swipe, you have to take which portrait you want to take. But when you're taking a live photo, it looks great, but you feel like it could look even better with the bokeh in the background. And the fact that you can change the subject as well post taking the picture just makes it even better. The fact that you can change the picture modes after you've taken the picture is a very underrated feature. And this is not just a Pro Max feature. This is even with the regular iPhone 15. So that's why I feel like this is really underrated and more people should be talking about this feature, and other manufacturers should copy this. I've been taking videos. The videos have been great. That doesn't seem to be a feature for the videos, but the videos have been great quality. I do like how they turn out. I'm gonna make, like I said, another video comparing the cameras to my old phone so you guys can look and see the differences. So Apple did announce that the iPhone 15 Pro Max will be the only phone so far to have 5x zoom. And I've been using the 5x zoom and I actually like it. So it's actually pretty cool. It does zoom in pretty well, but the issue that we have here is that the iPhone 15 Pro Max can go from 1x to 2x and then 5x, but in between 2x and 5x, it's a digital zoom, which the quality won't be as good as the 2x or the 5x, so you're going to be stuck between either going 2x or 5x. Me personally, there haven't been any situations where I really needed to zoom into 5x. I've been using 2x a lot. But the 5x camera, if you do need it, is actually pretty cool. I would say that I personally would prefer the 3x like other people are saying on the Pros. So the regular iPhone 15 Pro have the 3x camera and the iPhone 15 Pro Max has the 5x. I would prefer if Apple probably added one more camera so we can get the 3x and the 5x and the 2x. We're gonna have to settle with what we have, and I I actually enjoy the 5X when I actually do use it. Alright, so we talked about the design, we talked about battery, we talked about cameras. Now I want to talk about things that are new to me coming from the iPhone 12 Pro Max. First things first, the thing that came up to me when I opened the phone was the 120 Hertz. So the 120 Hertz is something that I've always wanted on an iPhone. My MacBook has 120 Hertz and my iPad Pro has 120 Hertz, but my phone never had 120 Hertz. So actually having 120 Hertz on my phone was actually pretty cool. And iOS is actually a pretty good operating system to take advantage of that 120 Hertz because it has beautiful animations, beautiful movements, a lot of movements, quick movements that you're gonna be doing with your fingers. You're gonna actually take advantage and actually see the 120 Hertz compared to something like a MacBook. Going into the fact that it does have LTPO, we do have the always on display. And me personally, first thing I did once I realized I have always on display is that I turned off always on display because I have an Apple Watch and I have always on display on my Apple Watch. So if I want to see time, if I want to see some notifications, I'll use my Apple Watch. And people have been complaining about battery life with always on display last year, so I just didn't bother having always on display on for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. It doesn't seem that it's a feature that is actually worth it. I feel like it's something that is cool and probably worth it if you don't have an Apple Watch, but if you have an Apple Watch, you might as well just keep it always on display on your watch and look for your notifications and time on that. The next thing that was new to me was the dynamic island. So I had the iPhone 12 Pro Max that still had the fat notch. Didn't have the slim down notch of the 13 and didn't have obviously dynamic island of the 14. So dynamic island is pretty cool for me. So it's a new feature that I haven't experienced before. And this is the first time I'm actually using it on the daily. And I found it actually pretty useful. I thought it was gonna be something that I was gonna use once and forget about it, but it's something that I use pretty much on a daily. If I'm setting timers, if I'm screen recording, I can stop it and save or delete it right there. I think that now that the base versions, the iPhone 15 and iPhone 15 Plus have the dynamic island, more features are going to be coming and we're going to be able to see more and more features applied to the dynamic island. Alright, so the next thing that was new to me is the action button. So I do have an action button on my Apple Watch Ultra, as you guys might know, but the action button on the iPhone 15 Pro Max is actually pretty cool. So far I've been using it to unlock my car, put the climate in the car. I even used it to play and pause music. You can use it for a bunch of different things. I do feel like putting the action button for the flashlight or camera is kind of a waste because you do have those two features straight on the screen even before it's even locked. So I don't feel like having the action button for those features are useful, but since you have shortcuts, you can do anything with it. So you might as well just take the time, look at what the possibilities are, and actually customize the action button to your liking. All right, so last but not least, what's new to me was the USB-C on the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I've been using Lightning for everything. My AirPods, my phone, my accessories for my iMac. USB-C has only been a thing on my MacBook and my iPad. So finally I have USB-C on my phone and I can use the same chargers for my phone and my laptop and iPad. But the issue lies is with my accessories for my iPhone. So I have MagSafe Duo and that needs a lightning port in order to actually use MagSafe Duo. So I'm trying to get rid of the lightning cable so I just don't use my MagSafe Duo as much as I used to. I've been using USB-C to charge the phone. Haven't been using MagSafe for it so far and it charges pretty well. So that's all I've been using the USB-C for. I might look into what else I can use. I see people using it for Ethernet, HDMI, people using it for keyboard accessories. So there's a lot that you can do with the USB-C, even external storage. People use the USB-C for external storage. So yeah, USB-C port is actually pretty great. There's a lot of possibilities that you can use the USB-C port for. So I might look into the different things that I can use the USB-C port for that might fit into my lifestyle. Alright, so enough about the things that are new to me. I want to talk about the issues that I've been having or the issues that I have not been having. So people have been complaining about the iPhone 15 Pro Max heating up. And me personally, I've been using this phone all day. Use it for gaming, use it for making videos, use it for texting, use it for TikTok, and I have not overheated the phone. I've been using the phone without any issues with the heat. I did have issues with the heat on day one, but that's because everything was loading down in the background, and that's why everything was heating up. All the information was being transferred, everything was downloading, my iCloud storage, everything, pictures, games, phones, apps, everything was being downloaded into the actual phone. So on day one, it was normal for the phone to be actually hot. But since then, I haven't had any issues with heating at all. And I know a lot of people online are complaining about overheating of the iPhone 15 Pro Max, but me personally, I just haven't seen it. I don't know what to say or what to make of it. I know that there's been videos already testing out the heat when you're charging your phone and other things, and there haven't been any issues with those videos. So it's looking like a case-by-case basis, but a lot of people are trying to make it out to seem that it's a widespread issue, and I don't really think that it is, because a lot of people that I've seen make videos on it, and a lot of people that I know that have the phone have not been talking about the overheating issue of their iPhone 15 Pro Max. So it's looking like a case-by-case situation and not necessarily an overall situation. I haven't had any other issues. And I know people are talking about the durability of the glass. Here's the thing. I'm putting a case on the phone regardless. So I have a screen protector, I have a case. So if the phone breaks through the case and the screen protector, then we're gonna have to have a chat. But if not, if you're going naked, then expect your phone to break if it falls. No matter how Apple talks about the glass, saying that it's actually something that's very strong and that's unbreakable, glass is glass and glass will break. So expect your phone to break no matter what if you're not going with the case. That's my issue with it, is that people are talking about how the phone are less durable, but regardless, it's glass. So you're gonna have to protect your device the way you want to protect it, and make sure that you can actually keep the phone pristine as much as possible. But regardless, if you want to protect your phone, you're gonna have to put a case on it or get Apple Care in order for you to really make sure that your phone is still pristine. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I've talked about the design, battery, camera, what's new to me, what issues I have with the phone and what issues I don't have with the phone. And that's my review of the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I'm actually loving the phone. I think that you should definitely get this phone if you're going from a 13 Pro Max or previous. If you're coming from a 14, then you're gonna be stuck with that for another year, because I don't think it's actually a good reason to upgrade. There's not much here for someone that has the 14. If you have a 13, you can still skip if you want to, but I would say that it's still a viable option if you want to go from the 13 to the 15 Pro Max, or 13 Pro Max to 15 Pro Max. You're still going to have a lot of different things that you're going to enjoy with the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I suggest that you buy this and you actually enjoy it. Don't listen to the hate and issues that you see online. Test it out for yourself. Apple does have a 2-week window for returns, so you might as well just get it, test it out, and return it if it's not what you like. That's pretty much it. See you guys on the next video.